What a game and what a comeback. Here's the review. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Drew, better known as RockChalk01, and yesterday, whenever you're watching this, the 7th ranked Kansas Jayhawks headed to Manhattan, Kansas to take on in-state rival K-State for the first of 2 installments to the Dillon Sunflower Showdown. And KU came back from an improbable 17 down in the second half to win the game by a final score of 78-75. I'm not going to lie. I thought KU was out of it, and honestly, I thought we were going to lose. As soon as K-State was up that much, I was like, I'll watch the rest of it, but K-State played like they were one of the most dominant teams in the Big 12, and KU played awful, especially in the first half. Second half, flipped the script. It was more or less that KU played like one of the best teams in the country, and K-State played awful. But that's the second largest comeback in the Bill Self era, as KU was down 19 against Missouri in 2012 to come back to win in overtime 87-86, and this is the second largest at 17. But, oh boy, what could I say? I mean, there was a few questionable calls in this game that should have gone K-State's way, a couple questionable calls that should have gone KU's way, i.e. the Ochai Agbaji shooting 2 free throws instead of shooting 3 when it clearly put the ball in the air, like basically shot the ball, and they blew the whistle, and they should have gave him 3 free throws. Instead, they gave him 2, but ultimately KU ended up winning, so it really didn't matter, but still. With the win, KU now has 202 wins over the Wildcats all time, and yeah, it feels good that we won the game, but there was still some questionable decisions made by the Hawks. So anyway, for those of you who do not know, I give positives and negatives about the game. I give a player of the game and a player who needs to improve. Without further ado, let's jump into this shit. So normally I start out these videos with the positives, but I'm actually going to start out with the negatives because there was more negatives than positives throughout the game. So let's just start with the negatives right off the bat. KU had more turnovers than K-State. That's a big no. KU had 11, although it did get better in the second half as they only had 3. 8 of them were still in the first half, and it was 8-2 on turnovers for the Hawks having the most. So 11 turnovers, and again, I keep saying this, if you get less than 10, there's a good chance you're going to win some games in the Big 12. And if you have more than 10, good luck, and that was the case. And K-State scored 12 off of those Jayhawk turnovers. KU forced 6, which is one of the lowest I've seen all season, so we didn't force any turnovers at all, and scored 7 off those turnovers. So big change there. Also, KU not playing well defensively at all in the first half. Second half, different story, but again, but the first half, K-State shot 60% from the field, 70% from beyond the arc, and 60% from the free throw line. I just don't know. And give them credit. They played great in that first half and didn't miss. So, and KU couldn't make anything. And that big negative is that KU's 3-point field goal percentage is probably the worst this season, as KU shot 24% from beyond the arc. So, well, and also shooting wise as well, that bumped the field goal percentage down to 44% for the entire game. But yeah, it was a struggle. Fast break points, K-State won that 6-4. And steals is a big difference, as K-State had 8 steals and KU only had 2 the entire game. So yeah, turnovers and not making shots ultimately kind of killed us, and K-State made shots. We didn't, so big difference there. But now, as we get into things, I think we're going to be looking better because this was a big statement win. So those were the negatives. The positives, defense in the second half. KU actually forced K-State to shoot atrocious in the second, as K-State shot 30% from the field, 25% from beyond the arc, and 54% from the free throw line, ultimately forcing the Wildcats to shoot 46% from the field, 39% from beyond the arc, and 61% from the free throw line. So did well defensively in the second half, and KU forced more turnovers in the second half. So good numbers there. KU's free throw percentage, 70%, and probably the most free throws KU shot all season, 21 of 30. So got to the line a lot, which in a way helped, but the 70% from the free throw line probably saved us in this game for the most part. Also, another thing that saved us in this game, rebounding the ball. Never seen a rebound differential this big all season. Maybe I have, I just can't remember. But rebounding, KU out-rebounded the Cats 45-23. And honestly, KU would have won anyway if you just took out the offensive rebounds as well, as K-State's total rebounds were still less than KU's defensive rebounds. KU would have won that thing 27-23, but grab 18 offensive rebounds, you get the 45. Second chance points. KU won that battle 19-8. That's also with the offensive rebounds being a big factor. And then points in the paint. KU won that battle 40-30 against the Cats. So good numbers there. We were actually rebounding the ball, putting the actually scoring in the paint, and that honestly, I think those were the reasons why KU won this thing. Is they were grabbing rebounds, even though they weren't making the shots. But it was rebounds, points in the paint, free throws. That's ultimately that actually led KU to win this game, in my opinion. So that being said, those are my positives and negatives. So before I give my KU honorable mentions, I actually have to give an honorable mention to a Wildcat, because he played out of his mind and put up one of the best stat lines I've seen in years, and that's Nigel Pack. I got to give him props because he played an incredible game. Pack had 35 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists in 36 minutes. This dude was like automatic in this game, and very rarely did he miss a shot. 12 of 18 from the field, 8 for 12 from beyond the arc, and 3 for 3 from the free throw line. So also feel really bad for Nigel in this situation because he is now the second person in recent memory that put up made 8 3-pointers, and lost to a Kansas team. The last guy to do it, Buddy Hield at Oklahoma in Allen Fieldhouse. So give Nigel Pack a lot of credit. He fought like hell. And I even told one of my friends who actually is a K-State fan, I was watching it at his place, but I said, if Nigel Pack gets 40, it's a good chance K-State wins this thing. And fortunately that didn't happen. Well, fortunately that didn't happen, but I was pretty close in a way. So honorable mention from the opposing side, I got to give it to Nigel Pack. But there's other guys in here for KU who actually deserve an honorable mention as well. First up, David McCormick, his third double-double of the season, 11 points, 15 rebounds, 1 assist in 26 minutes of play. Didn't really have that good of a shooting night, but the rebounds were a key factor, and also free throw-wise, he actually shot pretty well. The 4 of 10 from the field, yeah, but mostly the 3 of 4 from the free throw line was saving grace. My next honorable mention for KU is Jaylen Wilson. His first double-double of the season, 16 points and 10 rebounds in 31 minutes of play. He played incredible, grabbing a lot of those rebounds. down inside, especially with, I think K-State has like 2 guys over 7 foot. Could be wrong. I think it may be 1. I just don't remember. But still grabbing 10 rebounds, especially going up against those 2 giants. Incredible. But had a good shooting night, 5 of 9 from the field. Shaky from the 3, going 1 of 3. But 5 for 6 from the free throw line. Where's that been? So, honestly, if you really had to send anybody to the free throw line, and you, in KU's mind, send Jaylen, because he only missed 1. So, I would have sent him to the line. But ultimately, my player of the game for this game has got to be Ochai Agbaji. There's no question in my mind that he was the player of the game. Not only because he made the game-winning shot, but just the stat line. Holy cow. 29 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists in 36 minutes of play. Great shooting night. 10 of 18 from the field. Shaky from the 3, and those couldn't fall. He only went 2 of 8, but 7 of 11 from the free throw line. He struggled at the beginning at the line because he went 0 for 3 right off the bat, and then made, I got to do math here, 6 of his last 7 from the line. No, 7 of his last 8. Gosh, math sucks. But we needed to get him the ball, and now he's playing like the caliber of an All-American and potentially being a National Player of the Year. After having one of his worst games of the season, only getting 10, he just bumped that up and almost got a new career high out of it. He actually tied a career high with it, having 29. So ultimately, Ochai Agbaji is my player of the game. Player who needs to improve. Shoot. This one's tough. But I'm going to go with Remy Martin in this situation. And you got to hear me out. Although he's coming off the injury and all that's going on, he started chucking shots. And almost none of them fell. So they just need to fall. But ultimately, he's got to be my player who needs to improve. And there's reasons why. 2 points, 1 rebound, and 3 assists in 20 minutes of play. Only made 1 shot, went 1 for 6, 0 for 3 from beyond the arc, and 0 for 1 from the free throw line. So a lot of things just need to get better with Remy. Hopefully in the next couple weeks that will change. But in the situation where only a couple guys really put up stats, it was basically the starting 5 and maybe a couple guys who put in a couple stats here and there, and that was it. So it was a tough decision, but ultimately I got to go with Remy Martin as my player who needs to improve. With that being said, my player of the game, Ochai Agbaji. Player who needs to improve, Remy Martin. And that's going to do it for my review of KU versus K-State. Again, the final score, Kansas 78, Kansas State 75. Leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. Push that notification bell. Tell your friends about these videos. And I should see you again for the next review as the Kansas Jayhawks head back to Allen Fieldhouse for a big Monday contest against Texas Tech. But until then, have a good day. Never ever bring exotic dancers to the Fieldhouse. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.